Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, I'm Sara. I work as a product designer at Meta, and today I just want to talk through my experience working remotely for a big tech company in London. So if you're curious to hear this story, just tag along and let's get started. Before we dive any deeper, I just want to talk through one of my latest side projects, which is building websites using Wix Studio, which has kindly sponsored today's video. Now, Wix Studio is a real game changer, especially for freelancers and agencies that want to build custom websites that are user-friendly, high-performance, and SEO-friendly. For me, what really sets it apart from other website builders like Webflow, WordPress, or Framer is that it's extremely visual. It's like using Figma in the sense that you can easily visualize your pages, layers, and elements, and you can make direct edits right from the interface. Plus, you're not limited to static designs, but you can easily bring your sites to life. You can add in animations, transitions, and take complete control over your website, and it's super simple to do. But what's even more thrilling is that you can finally say goodbye to the hassle of adjusting your design for different breakpoints, because now you can quickly generate a mobile version of each section of your website in literally one single click. That's it. Now you can either apply the changes or you can always generate a whole new layout. Wix Studio is actually going all in with AI. It can help you improve your code, generate images with AI to write from the editor, give you ready to use content, and even create teasers from long format videos. If you want to learn more about Wix Studio, you can find tons of videos, webinars, and resources on the Wix Studio Academy. I'll leave a link in the description down below so that you can check it out after this video. And now let's go back to it. The first thing I want to address, and I know many of you are curious about, is whether I'm working more hours, maybe weekends, and I'm more stressed than in my previous jobs at smaller companies. So the short answer is not really. Honestly, I've pretty much stuck to the same routine. So I kick things off around 9 in the morning and usually wrap up around 5:30 with a half an hour break somewhere in between. But there are days where I might start a bit earlier or later, or I will compensate by working into the afternoon if, for example, I have an appointment or I've been casually procrastinating around the house. I mean, we all know that these things happen all the time. Now, I know some of us genuinely enjoy their job and working in general, the feeling of being fully immersed in their projects 24 hours a day, and that's cool. But then there are others like me who start to feel a bit claustrophobic when work takes too much space and leaves little room for everything else. And that's why it's really important to lay down some ground rules at work and make sure everybody doesn't break those boundaries no matter what. For me, I've always been pretty adamant about protecting my space, but there were moments in my life when my boss didn't quite respect those boundaries. They will keep me at my desk until late most days and ask me to work weekends, and of course no extra pay for that. So guess what? As soon as I started to see this pattern, I decided to get myself a new job and leave the toxic environment behind. Like, I'm done with it, they don't respect my boundaries, I'm out. So almost a decade later, I still believe the same things, but I got a lot better at setting boundaries right from day one and make sure everybody is happy with it. But you know what? Big tech can often feel like a battlefield, like you're juggling a bunch of projects, shooting late night emails to your colleagues, and let's face it, working weekends, evenings, and being burned out might be the only way you can guarantee a promotion or a bonus. Now, I want to challenge the status quo by saying that I personally managed to achieve a lot in the past year while sticking to what I consider to be a sustainable and healthy routine for myself. I did not say yes to every project that came my way. I didn't take on extra work. I didn't hustle. I didn't always push myself the extra mile. Still, when I look back, I can't help but feel a sense of pride in what I've achieved here at Meta. I've learned so much about working for a big org, but also about myself, about my strengths and my weaknesses, and all of that without burning out. I mean, that's success for me. I think it's the right moment to mention this book that I read recently. It really changed my mind around many things, career and success related. It's called I Know How She Does It: How Successful Women Make the Most of Their Time. Basically, the author asked a bunch of women who have a successful career and also have kids and many things going on to kind of log their daily activities for a few months and share their time logs with her. This was super helpful for me since I'm about to enter a whole new chapter. In case you're not following me on Instagram, I've got a little one on the way in about 2 months. It's been a mix of nerves and excitement, but honestly, I cannot wait to see how I will juggle being a mom, a designer, staying active, and hopefully still make videos and, all my side projects. So if you're in the same boat, I'm here with you, and maybe this is what you need to read right now. And that's a wrap up on my thoughts about work-life balance. Now, when it comes to big tech, there are definitely plenty of opportunities for growth, which smaller companies may not always be able to offer you. At my company, you can choose what path you want to pursue between management or IC. Some designers are also specializing in 3D design and VR, which I find so fascinating and exciting. And each career path has its own set of levels, and to step up you gotta show that your skills are exceeding your level and you're ready for what's next. Now, I cannot talk by my experience though, because I'm a contractor, so I don't have a specific level and I cannot get promoted. I made a whole video about being a contractor if you wanna check that out. So instead of talking about roles, promotions and all that jazz, I kind of wanna talk through how I've grown professionally and what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis to increase my skills. Now, I can say with confidence that I've learned more in the past year than in my whole career in product design. And I know it's a big statement, but this is because I'm constantly pushed to give the best of myself. I work with amazing humans and they do way more than just designing. So if I were describing my typical day, I would say it's 80% hands-on execution work, maybe 2 hours of meetings, and the rest of my time is spent communicating with my team or other designers. But to be honest, there isn't a typical day for me. It really depends on the time of the year. Like before strategy season, I tend to focus more on the visionary side of things rather than execution work, if that makes sense. While when I'm actually in strategy season, I lean more into design tasks and a bit less on the strategic side of things. Another thing I want to touch on today is about whether over the past year I become more of a design specialist or a generalist. Now, generally speaking, when teams are bigger, you don't need to wear different hats. You got your researchers, content writers, visual designers. You got all these people that can free up your time so that you can focus on design work only. And this has actually been my experience at Big Tech, but I don't think this has made me more of a specialist rather than a generalist. So let me explain this. I think that even if I'm always hands-on design work, I've learned so much by collaborating with other members of my team to the point where I could potentially handle some of their tasks if I need to. They probably won't let me do it, but I'm talking about writing research plans, content, and taking on some PM responsibilities. All of that stuff, I'm not doing it, but I could do it if I have to. So overall, I might seem more of a specialist now since I'm not doing the research, content, front end, or whatever. However, I feel like I have now a better understanding of these disciplines compared to when I used to do them myself. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps me reach more people who might find this video or channel interesting. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Ciao!